Hello everyone, we'll go through some Star Wars cards that I recently got graded. I'm gonna do the Dagobah cards for this video. I also have some cards graded from other sets, Premiere through Jabba's Palace, mostly mains, but a couple of other cards that I thought looked nice and had some sentimental value to me, so I'll hopefully be making other videos where I'll go over those, but for this video I'll go over some of the Dagobah cards. So right here we have Yoda, got a mint 9. Centering looks pretty good on this card. Borders don't really show. Whitening on the front. Looks very nice. Surface is very pristine. On the back, really probably dinged it from being a Gem Mint 10 if you look at the corners there. Got a little bit of wear there. Maybe a tiny little bit of whitening other places, but that's probably really what took it from a Gem Mint 9 to a Gem Mint 10 to Mint 9. Either way, I'm really happy with this. Again, these are all cards that I pulled when I was a kid back in the day. You'll notice this Zuckuss, unfortunately his name's misspelled too, but he only got a 5. I'm not entirely certain why. I'll speculate as to why it might be, but I'll come back to him just because that's really interesting. Here's Dengar. Dengar got a near mint 8. So Dengar is one of the bounty hunters. That was one of the main appeals of the Dagobah set, was that the bounty hunter cards. Now Dengar, centering's pretty decent on the front. No edge white that's noticeable. If you flip it though, we have a little bit of whitening on at least 1, 2 of the corners. If you look really closely, maybe a little bit on this corner. So it's a little bit more on the Yoda than on the Yoda. So that's probably why it's a near mint 8 as opposed to a mint 9. Bosk, another bounty hunter from Dagobah, also got a near mint 8, although the reasons for this card are probably different than with Dengar. Because if we look at Bosk, the centering's not terribly great on this card. It's a little bit up and to the right. The right corner, upper right corner also has a little bit, cut a little bit funky. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's not quite the clean cut corners. That's one thing with the Star Wars CCG. Sometimes the corners of the cards are cut in various ways. If we look at the back though, unlike with the Dengar, we really don't have any whitening anywhere on the corners or edges. So really it was probably that corner and the centering that got it here. And maybe there's a little bit of scratching on the surface, but either way it's not noticeable to the eye through the case. Alright, and then continuing the theme of bounty hunters, here's IG-88. Got a mint 9. So the front, pretty good centering. Not really any whitening on the borders either. If you flip it over, okay, same with the Yoda. Kind of what got it is the corners. So if you look here, a little bit of whitening on that corner. Edges look pretty good though. That corner looks good. Maybe a tiny bit of whitening there. And I mean, not really much. Probably really just that one corner is what got it from a 10 to a 9. So again, Dagobah, bounty hunters, IG-88. In case you haven't, if you've been out of the Star Wars CCG universe for a while, there was also Boba Fett, but Boba Fett was in the Cloud City expansion. I'll get into my Boba Fett in another video. But for now, I'll just cap this off. Going back to Zuckuss. So I had a 9 for Yoda, an 8 for both Dengar and Bosk, and a 9 for IG-88. But now for Zuckuss, we got a 5. So what happened here? Well, if you look at the card straight on, doesn't seem to be any edge whitening on the front. Centering's pretty good. Okay, let's flip it over. Maybe a tiny little bit of edge whitening in the corner there. Maybe a little bit down there as well, but really it looks probably better than, say, the Dengar was. So really, why did I get a 5? I'm not sure. Now, one of the things with some of the other cards I found is if it has structural damage, that really penalizes the grade that was given to the card. Here, I couldn't find any structural damage as hard as I looked, so either there's something really subtle I need to find. If I do, I'll be sure to amend the video with what that is, and if someone notices it from watching the video, please feel free to let me know. But the only thing I really noticed that shouldn't be there is there's a fisheye that's fairly prominent if you look down there, right? So it's a very prominent fisheye if you're, trying to grade the card. Is that enough to bring it down to a 5? Maybe. I can't really think of what else it is, because if it were, not for that, I can't really see any structural damage. This should be, in my mind, probably about the same as, Dengar at worst, so an 8. But perhaps that fisheye is enough to bring it down to a 5, or maybe there is, again, some structural damage that I can't make out that the grader was able to find. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'll be making a few more videos for some of the other graded cards. I'll bring the stacks here just so you can kind of get a sneak preview of what might be to come. So I got my New Hope stack right here, Wedge Antilles on the front. So I got New Hope. Got my Premier mains here with the Millennium Falcon leading the way. So that's my Premier mains. And then I also have my Cloud City mains, Captain Han, again leading the way. And lastly, but not least, would be Jabba's Palace with R2 on the front leading the way. Yeah, these cards had a lot of sentimental value to me. As of right now, they really don't. The prices are coming up, a decent amount, especially for some of the, say, the Premier mains, but they're really not, compared to like Pokemon or Magic, they're really not worth, oodles of money. And, it's kind of nice in some way because it's easy to get back into it, but you never know, like, it is Star Wars, so might be the sort of thing where maybe I'm fortunate that I got back into it when I did. But yeah, I'll go through these in other videos, and thanks for watching. Have a great day, guys.